Are we live, RJ?
Yes.
Okay. See how it's looking, how it's sounding.
Oh, you know what? I was actually going to put something on that looked decent. I'll be right back. Kids.
What, you gonna get dressed? I'm just wearing a t-shirt.
I was going to put on I was just going to throw a sweater over the top of this.
Good.
I'll just throw a sweatshirt on, something that looks a little bit less raggedy.
I'm gonna throw on my suit jacket with that.
That's okay. I'm gonna go get my tie then.
All right, let me see how this is sounding. Oh, commercial.
I don't like how I'm looking over. I was looking over.
You want to just put it over here?
Well, then we're gonna be looking over there. Oh, no, I just want to move it a little where now, so we're looking straight ahead.
Okay. Clear.
Before we're looking over here.
It's okay.
Just a reminder.
I can turn this one off.
Just a reminder. We're live.
Okay.
I mean, you can keep talking. It gives me a good volume check, but I always just make sure to remind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna turn this monitor off. I should get rid of one of the glares on your glasses.
Nope.
Actually, it made us darker.
Made it darker.
That was a big brightness.
Yeah. Good, honey.
All right.
Jenny's in the chat. Jenny, what's going
Good morning,
on?
Jenny. Happy Father's Day.
Good morning.
Thank you for the Happy Father's Day wishes.
Thank you. Oh, you talking about a hoodie? When you said sweater, I'm thinking.
I was thinking about it, but then you
Like a
said
Mr.
you were
Rogers.
just wearing the sweatshirt, so I decided to just throw the
Yeah,
sweatshirt on.
Wearing
That
jeans.
t-shirt looks raggedy. My t-shirt, I meant. The one that I had on. Well, I still have it on. but
Both mine as well.
Yours is a little nicer. All right. So I'm going to run an ad for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So when people join, they don't have any ads.
I just had one.
And then we'll start it. Yeah, that's because I didn't run the ad yet.
Oh.
You gotta turn your audio down.
So had I run the ad first, when people joined, they wouldn't have had any. When you joined, you wouldn't have had an ad.
I got you.
We getting paid.
Yeah, you can make half of what we make off this episode.
Yep. There it is.
Ariana about to text y'all. Say, wait.
All right. Waiting for this commercial.
Yeah, we got about 40 seconds.
Okay.
Still working on it.
Verizon 5G. Morning, Dan.
Dan the man. Oh no, not Dan. It's
Yogurt.
Animal. Yogurt. What's going on, man? How you doing? Another Sunday fun day.
It's not just another Sunday. I mean, the Bucks pulled it off. Who would have known? Who'd have thunk it?
They played like trash and still managed to win. Gotta give credit to, again, this is not our sports one. We'll get into it today, but we're still in the commercial. It's Kevin Durant, man. He's
Yep.
a phenomenal player.
Yep.
Killed
He's
it.
a phenomenal player.
Although his
Actually,
last shot
bad.
was an air ball.
Right. It was.
It
funny.
wasn't even a close air ball. It was
It
a
was.
straight, like 10
Everybody
feet away from the
saw,
rim air ball.
I saw a meme and it said, your job job application when they ask about, if you can, work Microsoft Word and Excel, and you say yes, and then the bottom picture was me working Excel, and it was Giannis shooting free throw.
Yeah.
He shoots worse than Shaq. His free throws.
Oh wow.
Not that bad,
Yeah.
but it's close.
Last night it was that bad.
20%.
It's that bad because he can knock down threes. So it's
Yeah.
like, yo,
He's an actual
if you're
shooter.
knocking down threes, yeah, he's an actual
And you
shooter.
can't shoot a free throw?
No, he shot a hair ball last night.
He's really good from mid range.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's like, bro, jump. Why doesn't somebody just tell him to jump from the free throw? Just do a jump shot.
Yeah, right. However, you got to make it work. Got to make those.
Yeah, he didn't hit the rim.
It's okay. He's only making 500 million. It's okay.
That's
Oh
it.
my
Oh, okay.
goodness.
I guess if it was 501, he would have to make free throws.
Exactly.
500 million.
No, he's
All right,
not
you
making
guys ready?
500 million. I think
Oh.
he got the max deal, whatever the max deal is.
Okay.
So he's making
About to say.
whatever the max
I'm
play.
making that Mahomes money.
That's what he should do every practice. No practice for him, just to set at the free throw line. All the time.
500 million. I think he got the max deal. Is that you, Mons? Were you playing the
sorry.
sound?
Yeah, yep. I was just
Okay.
testing it.
All right.
Putting it on
I
my
was
phone.
just curious because all of a sudden I started hearing it. All right, everybody ready?
Hey, check that. 1 second. Guys,
Yep.
check the back of the mic. Is it the back of the mic? Is it on?
You talking to me?
Mine?
Yeah. Yep.
And
Check the back of the mic. Is it on?
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. We're good to go.
Thank you and welcome. Wow, I screwed that up. We're gonna start that over. Jeez Louise. Every time I do it different. All right. Welcome and thank you for tapping into some Untapped Keg. I'm RJ Zimmerman here with my good friend and father. Happy Father's Day, Monte Ball. How you doing, big guy?
Good, man. I'm alive. I'm well. Happy Father's Day, of course. Love my son to death. Happy to be a father. Proud to be a father. RJ, happy Father's Day to you as well. How you doing?
Thank you. You know what? I got some sleep last night, so I'm doing pretty good.
That is your present from your children.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they slept until 8 this morning, so that's all right.
That is awesome.
And the two people who know just how impressive that is joining us right now, Monte's parents, Melissa Ball and Monte Ball Sr. Welcome. Happy Father's Day, Senior.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to you too. Both of you guys.
happy
Thank
Father's
you.
Day, guys.
What the heck is up? So everybody tuning in, yes, this is my parents. This is where I came from. These are the two people who gave me these 10 toes, these kneecaps, both elbows, and my fingernails. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good,
Doing
good.
good. Doing good.
Good.
Good morning, everybody.
Good. RJ and I are very excited. We are forever grateful that you guys are taking the time to join us. But the reason why we wanted to bring you guys on for many reasons. Obviously, one, check it out. Let's see, where does Monte Ball Jr. come from? So our fans are really going to love that, our listeners. And also, two, Father's Day. So happy Father's Day again, Dad. And three, we got an exciting announcement today that we're going to get into. But before we get there, we gotta talk about some things. Obviously, you guys sat front row seat, along with RJ as well too, of my journey to the NFL. And that journey started when I was 8 years old. And Dad, Mom, you both remember it, the exact day. When I was outside playing football with cousin Cece, and went inside and saw you, Dad, watching the Broncos play, and I started just hammering away at questions with you. So my first question is, how fast does time fly? Jeez, man. Right? Starting that journey together, and my goodness, we fast forward now to 18, 19 years. No, excuse me, 22 years.
Yeah.
But
You're old now. You got to get used to
He's
it.
old. You
Right.
see how you gotta take those 2 years off. He tried to get rid of those 2 years.
But how you guys doing? And I'd love for you just to share as much as you want about how that started, how you both were very pivotal, very important pieces in my life, making it to the NFL, the catalyst for that, and all the above.
I'll start. I remember being nervous about you playing football. I didn't know much about football then. And I just remember seeing a lot of people on the field running and a lot of people getting hurt. And I wasn't excited about you playing that sport. It looked dangerous to me. But your dad was like, you got to let him experience what he wants to experience. And we'll see if it's a good fit for him. If he wants to try it, we should let him try it. And then it went from there.
Yeah.
What's weird was it was the confidence that you had at 8 years old it was more of a, I don't know if it was a confidence or an arrogance, which one it was at the most time, but when you just kept saying how easy
that it looked.
You just get the ball and run. And it's like, I'm like, well, yeah. He's like, that's easy. Okay. But as time went on, you did make it seem kind of easy, so that was the cool part about it. But it was more of you wanting to learn about the sport that was really interesting. That's what made me really latch on to understand that you really wanted to know how to play this game, because you wanted, even if it was dark outside, you still wanted to learn. You wanted to learn something about the game. Mm-hmm. You never shut it off. It was always on all the time. And that's what was exciting and motivating to me to get involved as much as I did, also to help it was you want to quit.
Segue. Perfect. That's a perfect segue. And then, RJ, I got one more question, man, and I'm gonna let you get one in. It's a perfect segue. And that's why I mentioned that it's my journey started on that special day. Both of your guys' words, Mom, your encouragement, of course, your love, your compassion, Dad, your willingness to sacrifice your days to be the head coach, to get paid virtually nothing to deal with.
Nothing. It wasn't virtually. It was nothing.
Nobody brought you donuts? They didn't, nobody brought cupcakes that fell down a hill or anything like that?
Yeah, he got cupcakes. He got lots of thank yous, and his heart was filled with those boys. Filled.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Dad, you had the opportunity to be my head coach, and I want for us to talk about that first day, my first ever. And again, I don't want this entire thing to be podcast. It's not going to be entirely about me, but I want us to talk about that first day, my first ever
practice,
fully padded practice.
Oh, that was funny.
I literally remember. I still feel the fence when I was late.
That was a funny day.
So go ahead. You gotta shed light on this.
Okay, so you guys know, I guess we're from Missouri, so it's hot. Humidity. I mean, it's blistering. So football season starts. Average heat during football season is about 100 degrees. With humidity, hovering around 85, 90. So here we are out in this field, old softball field, and we were sitting outside the fence. Parents were, and they were inside the fence playing back and forth. This was the fourth day of practice because you got to go 3 days with no pads. Then the fourth day you get to put pads on. So it's the first day the kids had their helmets on, their shoulder pads, and everything out in this 100-degree weather. They're playing, they're running plays. I mean, still, I love it at that age. I call them bobbleheads because they're just running around trying to figure out what to do. They don't know what to do. So you call them, but then you always see those 1, 2, 3 kids that know what to do. And I noticed back then it was always the coach's sons. They were always the ones that knew exactly what to do. And so I was outside the fence and they were playing hitting. And all of a sudden, Bonnie gets hit and he just gets up off the ground and his eyes were just wide and he just takes his helmet off and comes storming over to the fence and leans on the fence and he just looks at us and says, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hot. The sweat's running in my eyes.
Yeah. And maybe I can play baseball or something else. Those words came out of his mouth.
Maybe I play baseball. It's like, now, from a parent standpoint, I understood where he was coming from. but it was $100 and some then we paid for that season. So, and you couldn't get a refund at that time. And so it was like, I was like, okay, fine. You know, you can play something else, but you're going to finish this season. Right. You know, you're not going to quit right now. I mean,
I, on the other hand, was kind of happy because I thought, okay, this is a sport that I know nothing about. And okay, well, maybe he wants to play something else that I do, that I can follow, that I, you know, and something less dangerous. So I was just like smiling on the inside and saying, okay, well, hopefully we can maybe pick something else.
Yeah.
But his dad was like, that was the day that your dad decided, I'm coaching.
Yeah. That day, you know, so, and then it was right after that, he's like, okay, fine, put his helmet back on. He gets back in the game and they're practicing again. And then he gets pancaked, hammered.
Yeah.
I mean, that other coach's kid was just blitzing. I mean, this kid looked like Ray Lewis out there. You know, it's just, I mean, full form tackling, hitting people. Monty got slobbered knocked. And he got up and he looked and he was like, and he's like, you can hit that hard? And it's like, yes, you can hit as hard as you know, fairly, but you can hit as hard as you want to.
Oh man, what did you tell him that for?
And that next play, you know, it was some play, run up the middle or something, and he hammered that dude, and he got up and just looked, and the light bulb went off right there. Yeah. You know, the light bulb just went off. You know, he's like, oh, I can do this. You know,
right.
So
some context, yeah. So I really didn't get to play ball carrier at first. I was overweight. I was about 10, 11 pounds overweight. So I played very early stage lineman. I think I played right guard, I think, or center. And I played linebacker. So the linebacker position, I caught the other team's opponent, the other team's running back running up the middle, and finally realized that you can hit them as hard as you can, you know, legally. So yeah, it was quite the day. I still remember that, leaning up against the fence, and I was like, I'm done. I want to play something easier. And it's funny, RJ, you're going to get
something in the air conditioner.
I said something easier like baseball.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, understanding the game of baseball is kind of harder to play. A lot more hand-eye coordination in baseball. Gotta be a lot more skilled. But anyways, RJ, I'll let you take it away, man. After his Dunkin'. Are we sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts?
We need to be. I wasn't going to say this on air, but there is now a Mocha open in Sun Prairie, right next to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my goodness!
Go.
Talk about being competitors.
Oh
Jeez.
My goodness, that's going to be awesome.
Right, item, yeah,
that would be awesome.
It's going to be great. So we start with football at a young age. You got a kid who is highly energetic, very highly energetic. I mean, it's kind of legendary how much energy this child had. How do you deal with kids like that? I need advice.
I needed advice.
Help me.
I asked his pediatrician. I was almost ready to put him on some medication. When we went in for one of his checkups, I was like, that, I can't keep up with him. I don't know what we can do, because he can play outside all day, with his friends, and he can still come inside and he does not wind down. Like, there's no wind down time. And I was like, he needs medication. And the doctor was like,
we didn't know about melatonin like we do now.
Yeah, we didn't know about melatonin back then. Yeah. So I was like, what should we do? And he's like, well, before you take the that route, how about we try to put him into a sport, or do something active with him. I'm like, but he's outside playing all day. He's like, well, let's try it. You should try that first. And then, if that doesn't work, then we can revisit. Mm-hmm. But the sports seemed to work for him. It really did.
I think that's an important part of this episode as well, too, especially to the fathers out there. Again, happy Father's Day. And obviously mothers as well. So parents out there who have children who are extremely energetic. the answer doesn't always lie in, pharmaceuticals,
Right.
in the pharmaceutical industry. Sometimes it is sports, but also sometimes it is, maybe Adderall or what have you, whatever is appropriate for your child. But I think that is important for people to understand that exercise
Exercise.
helps your mental health. It also helps to tire out your children as well.
We're going to be in swimming. We're going to be in soccer. We're going to be in baseball. We're going to be in basketball. Whatever sport they play at the same time, they will have 5 sports a day. I got to drive 40 minutes one way just to get there. They're going.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love. Usually we don't interact with the chat, but I want to just snatch this real quick. Jeannie made a great point. Sports are great, but also the music industry can release similar energy depending on your temperament. In my opinion, I can never say that word. Never.
Temperament.
There's 3 words that I can't say, and that is one of them. The next 2 I'll share in our next episode. But again, so we start with football at a very young age. Mom, you were nervous for obvious reasons. It's a very brutal sport for young minds as well. I mean, it's brutal for adult minds. But Dad, you most definitely were the one to push me in the right direction to continue forward with it. And it's funny that you mentioned that because in my book, I mentioned that as well about.
I'm sorry, you're what?
About my book. Yeah. So to everybody, my book is live right now on Amazon. Nowhere to Run. It is called Nowhere to Run. And again, I encourage people to type in my name as well on there because it just now been uploaded. So it's going to take time, obviously, for the SEO or whatever, the algorithm for Amazon. But type in Nowhere to Run Monte Ball, and you can purchase the book and you can get it prime in 2 days. Tell me what you think. It is my tell-all story, highlighting my journey to the NFL, highlighting exactly what we already stated here in the podcast. My parents' early days in football, what started me to go down that path, and obviously substance abuse, NFL, all of the above. So I'm excited to hear what you guys think. But again, you guys, thank you for being on. So after obviously Little League football, it was high school football. Good old Winsville, Missouri, Timberland Wolf.
Cue the flashback and the marching band.
Oh man,
bright lights.
RJ. You know the deal, man. You know the deal. Wait, RJ, did you play football?
I was on the team.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it I swear I'm not trying to. You were really really good at baseball. You know that. I just you played.
Yeah.
You said receiver, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
Right.
There's probably a reason.
That's okay.
But high school football, I think, the one thing that I wanted to bring up about that is this. I want to drop a little nugget here for our youth out there who may tune in, or parents who are trying to get their kid to that next level. It was obviously high school football, Dad, Mom, and you guys know exactly what got me there. Acceleration. I want you guys to obviously shed some light on that about how important it is to train during the off season.
You got that one.
Yeah. So basically, we focused on, and it was more of keeping you still burning your energy, because even in the mornings, you would get up in the morning and you would go to school. You would have practice after school, but you would still come home, and it was more of you still wanting to work. You wanted to work. You wanted more. You wanted more. You was like an open computer. So, we found a facility down in Chesterfield that did acceleration, basically worked on your agility, worked on your speed, worked on your flexibility. Not too much strength building as much. They worked on a little bit of strength building, but it was more flexibility and stuff like that to help with development of children. Mm-hmm. And I want to give program because it's a great program, and today they're still doing great things with children down there too. But it helped you focus on what it takes to get to the next level, because you always wanted to get to the next level, because at the age of 8 you said you wanted to play in the NFL. and that's a great focus from an 8-year-old, but to stay focused, we as parents also knew that we had to shield the distractions, to get to that level and attain that type of success, you need to block out all the high school other stuff, all the other issues in town and stuff like that. So you would just work out constantly. Sometimes you would even get up before school and work out. It was an obsession to you, which was a good thing. I mean, for your future of what happened. So yeah, it was just to keep working out. You burned your energy that way, and it played into your future of showing how to structure a day in a life and a football player. And you were doing it at that younger age that you needed until you took it to the next levels, and it was a good building block.
You kind of pushed us and advised us that you wanted to be a running back, and you wanted to be one of the best. You wanted, you strived for these awards, and you kind of let us know that you wanted that additional help and focus to be the best that you could be.
All right. Absolutely. And I think I appreciate you guys sharing that, because I think it's important for our parents and obviously our the adolescents, the teenagers out there who may be tuning in to understand the importance of training during the off season. You get the work in during the off season. That's where you experience growth. That's where you experience, you have the opportunities to figure out what you did last season that wasn't correct, or some of the flaws that you may have had, and you correct them during the off season. That's where you grind, where you work. That's where you build your mental toughness for the upcoming season. And so that's important. So I really appreciate you guys sharing that. I'm going to shut up now for a bit.
Well, I mean, something smaller, not quite as big, but like I was in basketball as a junior on the JV team. And then I've never suited up for varsity or anything. And in the off season, there was somebody else who the coach was focusing on working with, and I got jealous. And so I was like, well, why can't I? He's like, yeah, you can, come on. So I went in the mornings, every morning. I was at school by 5:30 in the morning. We weightlifted, we shot, we worked on moves and stuff. And I ended up being all conference as a senior. So that's something that you do need to do it. You don't know you need to do it until you do it. And
you do it.
It honestly, showing up in the morning and burning that energy too helped me focus on class during the day. It was kind of crazy how I went from junior year to my senior year, all of a sudden being able to focus in my classes and stuff. Like I did not have good math grades my junior year, but somehow I still made it into AP Calc. Then AP Calc I had an A. And part of it was I was actually able to focus on what was going on. So
hey, wait a minute.
What?
I've been talking to you now first off, I've known you now for like 11 years, but I've been really religiously speaking to you now for about 2.5 hours a week here on the podcast for a year.
Yep.
And you were in calculus?
Yep. I had 3 AP classes in senior year of high school.
No way. Nope.
I was in AP Chem.
Unreal.
I can see that with RJ.
That's impressive. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. No, that's impressive.
I was in pre-calculus and I quit day one.
Day one?
Yep, you had 3 days, you can switch your classes.
Yeah.
The first day I walk in and all these stuff on the board and I'm like, wait, it's day one. All right, I want to switch.
It's like you look at the board, it's like all symbols. Like, where are the numbers?
Looks foreign to you.
Yeah, it's like, where are the numbers? Look,
wait, so obviously when we were going to school, the Matrix was out and we got to matrices. And I was like, wait, this isn't the Matrix. Why isn't there a TV? What are you talking about?
Where's Morpheus? Where's the? He's beginning to believe.
Yeah, where's the pills? I was supposed to get a pill.
That's funny. And again, I think let's go ahead and tackle this next part. We're going to accelerate this a bit because you don't need to journey through my football life, but I want to talk about college. College football was awesome. You know, the awards, etc. We understand that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the important stuff though. As parents, seeing signs of your child
Struggling.
struggling with early signs of addiction.
Yes.
Obviously, all four of us here are parents, so us two, meaning me and RJ, hopefully we do not have to experience that. But to all the parents out there who have, you know, we most definitely, we
Yeah.
thank you for your strength. So mom and dad, how was that? I don't really have a question, but seeing
So,
that, yeah,
yeah, I think I was one of the first ones to see the signs, and I brought it to your father's attention, and I just told him that you were a little withdrawn from us. You wanted to spend more time with your friends and on campus, and with us being right here in the Madison area, being as close to you as we were, I thought that you would come home more and be with us a little bit more than you were. But then when I, even after your games, you would hang out with us for a little bit, but you were always in a rush to go back to campus. And I'm like, he's going back to he's partying. That's what's happening. Is that he's running from his family, which he didn't do, until now. And usually you would spend that time with us, like after high school, it was always us going out to eat or, being with family after your games. And when college happened, when you started playing college ball, you were doing a lot less of that. So that's where I noticed and started discussing it with your dad.
I hear you.
Yeah, I was honestly oblivious. I was still focused on football. I noticed what your mom was saying at times, but I took it more as this is a kid that's in college and he's experiencing life. Right. I was that parent at the time where I didn't want to. I don't know if it was more of I didn't want to confront it at that time to disrupt what was going on. But now looking back on it, I wish I would have. Spent more time on it because I know where our family comes from when it comes with alcohol. I understand that path, and I honestly saying that I've seen it, but I valued your football success at that time more.
Yeah.
And
I don't think there's anything. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mom.
You were just focused on the football part, not that you valued it more. I would say that.
Not the success of what was going on or what was going, just your path, because your goal was to get to the NFL. So I was still working on that path.
Yeah.
I think this is an important topic, again, for parents, because parents who have their children in college, what does that happy medium look like?
Right.
Experiment. Your kid is gonna experiment. They're gonna. I mean, that's the time when you're supposed to, not but not extreme.
Not encouraging it, but yeah,
not like I did.
Not like
other people did.
But where's that happy medium for parents? Like, okay, my kid is partying, but are they doing it too much? Or like what you just said, Dad, they're just experimenting in college. They're just having their
experience. Yeah, that's what he thought. Yeah.
So that's a very good topic and a very good point, because you want for your child to, in a very healthy and safe way,
to have friends,
experience college, in a very healthy way. But where's
that balance?
Where does it cross that line?
Where's that balance? And and for me, I was just I saw it happening more and more with you. That's where I was getting concerned, and I'm like, okay, It's not just after one big game that you want to hang out with your friends and have fun. It started to be after every game. You know, it wasn't just like a championship game or an important game. It started to be, you know, it was just more and more. And I'm like, okay, this is unhealthy. We got to intervene. We got to have a talk. So then that was when we talked.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it. We tried to let you know about I mean, we even talked about it even in high school a little bit, but we got more in depth and more involved about talking about it in college. Once we saw the signs, especially, we revisited alcoholism and what it is in both of our families.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, I don't want this to be a super down podcast. I think it's important for thank you guys for sharing that. And I think it's important for others listening is many parents had to or currently are dealing with a child who is struggling, but the child doesn't even realize it yet, just completely oblivious to what they are falling victim to, unfortunately, and that is addiction.
And it's tough in Wisconsin. I mean, it's tough in Wisconsin because everybody drinks like that in college, right? Like, you know, when I was in college, looking back, I was definitely partaking way too much. You know, I knew all the deals on Mondays. I knew all the deals on Tuesdays. Knew all the deals on Wednesdays. Knew all the deals on Thursdays. You know, keep going. So we knew what bars we were going to on what night, and I was, you know, always late for family stuff because I was hungover. So I slept too long or I stayed up too late the night before. I would know that I had to be somewhere at a certain time, and I'd be sleeping at a friend's house. And next thing I know, I got to run home because my car's still parked at the bar or something like that. Like, you know, that. Oh, yeah. But at the same time in Wisconsin, you know, my friends didn't look at me like I drank a lot because they were right next to me. Or, you know, looking at, you know, Monts drinking like that. It's like, well, all the other kids are drinking like that because that's what we do. Like, that's what we do in Wisconsin. We don't go to a club and dance. We go to a club and drink. And not just one shot, not just two shot, like 10 shots. That's not an entire night either. That's like in 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
That's a great argument.
I did notice a difference from Missouri to here.
Perfect segue.
A huge difference. So we back home, you know, I don't even remember us having alcohol in our house back home. You know, we never had alcohol in our house. If, you know, he doesn't drink because he is recovering, a recovering alcoholic. And then I drink my wine here and there, but I would only do it on special occasions. And I don't know, we kind of shielded our kids away from alcohol when we were back home. And then when we came here, it was everywhere. I'm like, oh my goodness. When I heard of the Mifflin Street party, I was in shock.
I'm like, what is this?
I'm telling you, it was like complete shock. I never knew of them, you know, of anybody allowing college kids to just like drink on the streets and hanging out their windows with and
go to a college town in Wisconsin.
Here.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, that was
college town.
I'm not kidding. I was in shock. It was so different for me. I don't know. It was just eye opening, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, you guys are encouraging people to drink here, encouraging kids to drink here. It's just not right.
Yeah.
When did you guys find out it was legal to take your kids to a bar at any age and let them drink?
Day one.
Yeah.
Day one, somebody told you that?
Bragged about it. Yeah, everybody here bragged about it.
No, we're happy about that law, for sure.
And we found out, I was like, what?
I'm like, no way you cannot do that. That's I didn't believe it.
No.
I didn't believe it.
It's like the unspoken, but it is talked about a lot because it's technically still illegal because it's a federal law.
Right.
You have to be 21 in order to consume alcohol. But they're very, very
laid back.
No cop is going to enforce it, is what it is. Because it's Wisconsin, and that's the state law. So
yeah, and that's funny. So I appreciate you guys sharing that. Now I want to get into now recovery. Because Mom, you already mentioned it. Obviously, you are a huge major support system for Dad. His earlier years with alcoholism. Myself, you're helping out RJ as well in your own unique ways with his recovery. So I most definitely want to now let's talk about this journey of recovery. And again, Mom, I know that you are not in recovery from substance abuse, but I can say us two, me and Dad, most likely would not be sitting here if it was not for you. Being our support.
I would not be here.
And I know that you help out RJ as well. RJ is part of the family for sure. And so I want you guys to obviously talk about that. You as well, RJ. This is where we talk about our recovery now and how that has been.
So for your dad, I mean, and I, we've been together for a long time since we were teenagers, and
let's get into that. Age 15, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was 15, he was 16. Yeah. I was 15, he was 16 when we started dating. And
long time.
Yeah. We did our share of partying too.
I partied enough.
He kind of introduced me to partying because we were.
Here we go. The bad influence.
Not blaming anybody. Not blaming anybody. It was just something that he was doing at the time. Yeah, it was just what he was doing at the time. And I just joined in. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, you guys look like you're having fun.
Hey.
Well, I didn't know, Well, the fun started getting scary. Really, honestly, it really started getting scary. And I'm like, this is not healthy. And this is not what I want. And we had children early. I had my daughter, RJ's wife. We had her when we were 17. Yeah. And once my daughter came along, I'm like, that's it.
She changed.
I did. I was like, there's no more of this. We have a baby and we're young raising this baby. And I'm like, there's no more of that. We are not going to be drinking and partying and stuff anymore.
I didn't follow that path though.
No.
It was still strong in me. I still love the partying. I still love the attention, that I was getting from the parties and stuff like that. So having a child did not change me immediately.
No, it didn't.
So we kept going through the things, me getting locked up, me drunk and driving and stuff like that. Thank God I didn't, hurt anybody. Through my drinking escapades, but we were in a small town. It was probably, when we were kids, there was probably 4,000 people, 5,000 people maybe in the town. So it was a small town.
That's crazy.
So everybody knew everybody. So we would get pulled over by the cops and they would just take us home, because we lived right across the street from the police station, so they would tell us, go home, park the car, don't move it again. Wouldn't say nothing about us being 14 years old with alcohol, just go home.
14 years old driving. Wait, what?
Huh?
14 years old driving?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean,
some reckless stories, man.
I mean, you got to get home sometimes, and it's up to you to get the crew home.
True.
Everybody's passed out.
I just feel like we're gonna step right past that part. We're 14 years old driving home.
Yeah.
Cop was probably drunk.
Yeah, well,
Well,
small
he was
town
drinking with my dad
Wisconsin.
the day before.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we're 19. Not fast forward too far.
Yeah.
But we're 19. We have 2 children.
Yeah. That's when you were born, Monty, at 19.
Yeah. We have 2 children, and he still wants to drink a little bit. He would try to make these deals with me where I won't drink hard liquor. I'll just drink beer. Hard liquor is what makes me, get into trouble.
Negotiation phase.
So he was we were in trying that negotiation phase.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so I tried to agree to that, but that didn't get any better either because he just consumed more beer to make up for the hard liquor. And I'm like, no, this still isn't working. And now we have 2 babies, and finally, I think when you were 21.
Yep, we moved back to Missouri because Monty was born in Kansas.
Yeah.
When we moved back to Missouri, he was 2 and actually was going on 4.
Yeah.
And we sat down and had a talk because we were living with her mom.
Yep.
That was grandma. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, wait, I got 2 kids and my wife, and I'm living, with my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
For a short period.
Yeah. And all I was doing was drinking. So, over the course of that time, the children and my wife together gave me a path, that shielded me away from the party and stuff like that. And what Melissa brought to the table was she really showed me, and her mom really showed me that I had to change my habits. I had to change the people I was hanging around.
Yeah.
Because without changing the people I was hanging around, I couldn't change my path. I couldn't change what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that's what I got from Melissa and her mom,
Yeah.
because
No, please.
No, I'm saying because my family, I love my mom, my dad, but I didn't get that type of support from them. So it was life-saving.
Yeah.
That Melissa and her mom came into my life, actually.
That's awesome. And I think there's 2 things I want to say is one, I think at the age of 21, mom wasn't your wife yet. So she was still your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Meaning, I think, which to me, that makes it even more impressive that you guys were capable of turning it around when you weren't married. So
no.
You technically didn't have to stay, mom.
No, no, I didn't.
And you don't when you're married as well, but you understand what I'm saying. You both fought through it, which is impressive. And obviously, me and my older sister, and even my younger sister, are extremely grateful. And 2, Dad, I think, you got to give, not telling you, of course, but your parents more credit. They lived through tough times, the 50s and the 60s, where
things were different.
Talking about the civil rights movement, you're talking about a lot of very tense moments, racial tension at its highest.
Yeah.
In trying to raise children, Black children, is difficult. Yeah. Very difficult. So I appreciate you guys sharing that. I really do.
Yeah. It helped because my mom didn't drink and doesn't drink. So, and she just wanted us to raise healthy babies, her grandchildren. She was watching out for her grandchildren. She was watching out for us. Mm-hmm. We stayed with her for a little while and until we got our own place. And then she sent us on our way in the healthiest way possible and said that you guys can do this, encouraged us, She helped us both. She really did. Very supportive in that way.
It's incredible. It is incredible. RJ, what you got, man?
All right. So these past, 5 years, I mean, you know, I think we all know the NFL story. We'll jump past that.
Yeah.
Let's go 5-ish years ago when we're starting down this. So like I've been sober. Like you know, you guys were big supporters of me putting that down, and I appreciate that. But you know, so you have Senior who's sober, and then you have me who's newly sober, and now we have Monts who's starting to go sober.
Yeah.
What was your goals to try to help him make it easier? Because I mean, to watch your boy, you know, your baby boy go through these struggles that you can't fix yourself.
Right.
What kind of support did you guys, you know, is there examples? Because I know that you're doing everything you could to make everything easier. You were providing him, you know, obviously a loving home and everything, but were there examples of things that you noticed you could do that really helped lift his spirits and maybe help start that path?
This was familiar to me because of his dad being a recovering alcoholic. So it was sad for me. So it was very emotional, but I knew that he was also sad and not in a good, healthy state. My first thought process was to get him to go to rehab. That was my first thought process, and I tried to encourage him to do that. I called several myself without him even being around. He wasn't even in my home, and I was calling rehabs. And then finally, when he came home, and I just saw it in his face, I asked if we could speak. I was just like, that's it. We got to talk. And I remember that talk, and it was hard. It was a lot of crying. It was a lot of tears. And I said, this is it, son. You have to get some help. This is not an option. There's really not an option. I will support you. We will be here for you, but it's something that has to be done. And I don't even know. I just kind of cornered him in a room.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him out. I just stood by the door, and I'm like, this is it. There's no getting past this door until we make a decision on what is necessary for you to get healthy. Therapy, and whether it's rehab, he said, fine, if you want me to go to rehab, Mom, I'll go to rehab. I said, but I don't want you to go with that attitude. I want you to go as you need rehab, and that it will help you. And he's like, I don't think that I need it. I think I can maybe do it on my own and with the help of therapy. And I said, okay, well, we can try that route first. Let's try that route first. Let's do some therapy. I'll go with you. I even went to sit with him. I offered to go to AA with him. I've gone to some places with him and sat and talked to other addicts and let him tell his story and sat there and watched and listened. I'm like, I will go to the end of earth with you, just know that you won't be alone in the journey, and your dad and I will be here to support you. So let's do it.
Yeah.
And after all those tears, I was happy that he agreed, because that's the hardest thing for a parent to do, is to the hardest thing is to talk to your kid and your child, your adult child, whether it's an adolescent, an adult, it doesn't matter what age they are. You know what I mean? It's hard to face the fact that we are here at this point, and what do we need to do? That conversation is tough, but it's necessary. It's necessary to save their life and to help their mental health and your mental health. It affected everyone in the house, everyone in the family. So,
Yeah.
and that's what people have to understand, that addiction affects everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I was support. I let Melissa lead with what we were doing, because I like we talked about before, it was one of those things where I didn't know how at the time. We couldn't connect. We couldn't,
Yeah.
It was like the pot calling the kettle black. I felt like, what can I do, as far as to tell someone else not to drink when I'm still struggling with drinking. So it was hard for me at the time also to create that dialogue, with you. So I followed whatever Melissa said, because obviously she worked with me. So, she's got experience. So we just let it go there.
And I think too, I appreciate you sharing that. I think also, I have to take some accountability there too as well, because I was purposely shunning you out, Dad, because it was almost the I dare you to say something about my drinking.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You were very combative at that point. I do remember that with everybody.
With everybody.
It wasn't just, one person. And
Right.
But I think that's everybody. I mean, I remember when, before I quit, I was combative too. When my mom would tell me straight up to my face, I'm an alcoholic. Well, fine. I'm going to go get way more drunk tonight than I ever have. And it was that kind of a thing. And that's when it's tough, because, and I can see it as a parent, and you laid it out really nice, that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And with a kid, a child, anybody, you have to let, and especially, our substance use, we have to see it, because if we don't see it, nothing's going to work. We could go to rehab and it's not going to take, because like you said, he's just going to make you happy. And
Right.
Yeah. You have to go because you want to go.
Yeah. You seeing that at the time, that's some real foresight. And I do remember how difficult it was at the beginning. How tough you were. Help
to deal with.
No, I'm not saying tough months was how tough you were, Melissa. And helping, being there. Like,
so it takes a community. It takes your family. You don't have a family, it takes your community. If you don't have a community, then you have to create one.
And a healthy one.
You have to reach out. You have to create one. And that's what I always say. That's what we say as well here on Untapped Keg is, we can be your community, and we can help you to reach out to organizations in your area to jumpstart that community that you need. You need that social connection. That social connection is huge for people who are addicted to substances. You need that social connection.
Yeah, you need to know that you're not alone, that you're not struggling by yourself, and that you have that support. It's very important. And it's also important to disconnect yourself from those unhealthy environments.
Yeah.
People think that they can still continue to be friends, or associate with people that are still going out and partying and drinking, but you can't. You really do have to distance yourself from those type of situations and get into those healthy environments. It's very important.
It is. And I learned a lot of that throughout therapy. RJ learned a lot as well. It's a journey, and I'm so glad that you guys hopped on, because I want for people to see, for one, where I came from, who I came from, and also who helped to shape me into the person I am today. And so I'm obviously, you guys hear it every single day. I'm extremely grateful to have you guys. So this is awesome. This is all you as well, RJ. I've shared that with you many a times.
We're grateful for both of you.
Yes.
Yep. We're grateful for you.
Because you got my grandbabies.
Yeah. Not just because of that, but yes.
That's a great thing great topic to end on. Grandbabies. The joy of having two sober children. RJ is your child-in-law.
A son-in-law, yeah.
So having two sober children who have their children and a son. How was that been?
It's been awesome, to be honest. It's been really, it's for me, I never understood what it meant to be a grandpa, because it's like you get to do it again. You get to do it again, and do it differently the way that you did it before. Not saying you did it wrong before, but you get to do it differently now. And that's the exciting part about it. And having, like I said, two fathers like you guys, it's like, it's a joy. It's a joy watching them grow, seeing you guys inside of them.
Yeah.
Seeing
their personalities.
Yeah, their personality is crazy. I mean, Mavy with his jokes and his little,
jabs.
His little jabs,
He's got a mouth. He's got his attitude. It's so hard not to laugh. Hard not to laugh. I'm like, where he for sure gets a little bit from me, but a lot from his mother. That Italian and Hispanic. That fuse is right there. You can see it.
Yeah. And then watching Anari, having his dad's sense of humor and his sassiness, it's just amazing how sometimes he'll just say something and I'm like, that's RJ. I'll be okay. Something like that, and then Ezra, it's
oh my goodness.
I don't know about Ezra yet. He's a merge.
Where did he come from? We don't know.
He's a little bit of both.
You told me not to do it. I'm gonna watch you watch me as I do it.
Yeah. See, I think he got a little bit for me, but I don't want to put that in there because that was
that's your dog.
That is him. That is him. Watch this. I'm gonna make you, and I'm gonna do it slow, so it's painful.
And watch you. Yeah, you're gonna watch me watch you as you watch me.
As you watch me.
That finger, no.
Yeah, it's the best feeling ever.
That finger, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch this now of seeing where we all came from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To where it is now is such an amazing thing.
Yes, it is.
It's really it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling. Yeah. I just would fill my time with work, but it's like now when the grandbabies come over, or like I said, when I can get home in time for the phone, it's just time. You push everything aside, it's just amazing.
It's the greatest joy.
Kudos to you, daddies.
Ever. Yes. Yeah. Kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
Same for you. It's been one hell of a journey. It really has. And there's many, many more stories to come, many more stories to develop.
Yes.
So this is only the beginning. It really is. I got nothing else. RJ, what you got, man?
Advice. So, you two are very present in each one of your child's lives, like there at a drop of a hat. And you'll do anything, you'll drive to Milwaukee at 3 a.m. to help print off a paper that won't print off, or, just like the smallest things.
Mm-hmm.
That energy that you find to be able to do that, where does that come from? Because that does take a lot of energy, and putting yourself on the back burner to help. So that's
a lot of that. RJ is mental, and it just fulfills our heart. He was a very giving person. That's what drew me into him. Watching him do so many things for other people.
She just scooted right back.
It was your heart. You always would do stuff for other people. I remember him helping even people fix their cars. He was just always such a giving person. And that's how I was raised as well. My mom was like, you know what? You might not be able to give money, but you could give your time. You can give your heart.
Mm-hmm.
and to pay it forward. And I just love that.
I want to segue on something like that, Lonnie, because you need to give my parents more credit.
Yeah.
And I have to give my mom that credit.
Mm-hmm.
I got that from my mom because she was so
Absolutely.
giving.
Yes, she was.
So much giving. And I did take that from her.
Yes.
I wish I had the opportunity to meet her.
It was more like a lethal with an attitude.
Yes.
She was lethal with an attitude, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She would snap on you.
She's a little bit of Sean and Diane.
Yeah.
Trust me, I could be knowing you for 30 years. Trust me. I can see that.
Yeah. But to get back on that, RJ, about the energy, to me today, it's more of seeing where my children are in their past and their goals in their lives, because each one of them had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they've all fulfilled their plan. My last one's, getting ready to go to law school to fulfill her plan. This is what they all wanted to do from 8 and 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I told myself, if I'm going to quit drinking, why?
For your children.
For my children.
For your children.
So every day it's like, I can't say no. And that's where our family rule came in when we were when they were tiny. And we basically made a family pact and our law and our rule. And I tell people today, you give me what I asked for and you will get everything you asked for. And people said, that's spoiling your children. No, it's not. It's fulfilling an agreement. I want you to stay in school. I want you to get good grades. I want you to be respectful. I want you to be nice. I want you to help people as much as you can. You give me that and we will move every barrier out of your way to get you to your dreams.
Yeah.
That's the agreement we made.
Yeah, we did.
And we're not breaking that agreement. And so the energy is from the fulfillment of watching my children fulfill their dreams.
Yes.
So it's a reciprocal. I give, they do, I get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let that simmer right there.
That's an incredible advice for parents out there. I mean, you do what I ask and I'll do what you ask, and then the way that goes all over. I mean, I don't like to celebrate myself ever at all. I think everybody knows that. So for Father's Day, I was asked what I wanted to do. Well, what do I want to do? I want to see my children smile. So I don't want breakfast made for me. I don't want anything. They want donuts. I went out this morning and I got them donuts. They like to play, so we are going to the trampoline park because
there you go.
It's going to pay off for me this afternoon when they're napping.
Sure.
But B,
nap time.
Watching them run around and laugh, and it's a feeling that you cannot describe. You can just feel, and that's what parents always say. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned since I became a parent. And I've told Mons this, like, when he met Mav, I was like, dude, you're kind of over the top right now. Like, I think you're just like, you're just doing this because that's what you think. And then I met Anari, and it's like, nope, no, that's not over the top.
Now you understand.
This is what it is.
That's what it is, man.
And it's that's what I've decided that I want to do for Father's Day. Even for my birthdays, is I want to do what my kids want to do, because that's the gift to me, is them. And
it is. They are a gift.
I decided that this week because I don't like I said, celebrating myself, so I'm going to celebrate them instead.
Of course. Of course. And they're going to look back. They're going to look back on it.
And they will celebrate you.
Yeah, they're not capable of understanding.
I hope not. I hope they celebrate themselves. I think their mother's going to be really good at teaching them that, because I won't be able to teach them how to do that. But that's something that I'm very I'm very thankful to be able to do.
Yeah,
and I can see that from both of you too, to your kids, that seeing them laugh and then seeing your grandbabies laugh and everything, that's
all that matters, man.
It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
So what I always tell people, and I don't want to get too morbid here, but on my funeral, as my body's escaping, and I'm looking down on my funeral, I'm gonna look for my family to be there, and close friends as well, of course, but family first. That's all that matters. The last thing I want to leave you guys with, real quick, Jenny in our chat made a great point. It takes a village. Indeed, it does. It takes a village. It does.
Yes, it does.
But let's end this on a good note. Well, we have a happy note. Happier.
Aliens?
Yes.
Aliens?
No.
Not even happier, because obviously what we just talked about is the happiest, of course. But you know where I'm going. Let's entertainment. Let's go entertainment.
Oh, we're talking Wonder Woman 1984?
Absolutely not. It's the worst.
No, we're talking good entertainment.
Yeah. That movie.
It's a running joke on the podcast that's my favorite movie.
So yeah, he put a command, so he hits something, and it pops up a paragraph. Monte's favorite movie ever is Wonder Woman 1984.
and then I also put in there that Jared Leto's his favorite Joker.
No, and I said none of that.
It's just fantastic. Just fantastic.
Is the Joker but again, that's what I wanted to talk about. Actually, leave our listeners with something, guys. Your favorite movies. You gotta hear this. You gotta hear this.
Wow.
And I need just one. I don't want to hear which I respect when people say that. I don't want to hear it depends on my mood. It depends on.
Don't you hate that?
Right, but I understand it, because sometimes it does depend on in the genre, of course. But one movie.
One.
Oh, I don't mind. I mean,
you go first.
The Usual Suspects.
That's a good one.
I thought you were going to come with Star Trek 2. So.
No. Usual Suspects changed my life when Kaiser Sose stopped that limp. I mean, literally, I could not believe I watched a 2.5-hour movie.
Spoiler.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot
right. 30-year-old spoiler.
Yeah.
I can't believe I sat there and watched a 2.5-hour movie and not realizing what was happening in front of me.
Yeah.
And
that was a great movie.
Amazing how they did that. And
he sat there and explained it all, but was lying.
Right. Taking the information from the walls and from the ashtrays and stuff from the room, made a whole story.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was incredible.
That was a good.
That's my number one.
That reminds me of like when I saw Snatch for the first time, and like all these storylines at the end. The Guy Ritchie movie, which obviously he's done before, but Snatch was like, because Brad Pitt was in it, like the big breakout movie. All the storylines coming together, and all of a sudden you're like, I get why we did all this. Like, not Usual Suspects. Kevin Spacey, yeah, he's a really douchebag person, but good actor.
Yeah.
And that role in that movie is on a different level, right? I mean,
different level.
It is. It's just a very basic movie, but it's just beautifully written.
That twist. Yeah, that twist got me.
Mm-hmm.
Mom?
For me, it's easy. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, that's mine.
Ooh, I know that.
Yeah,
that's mine.
that's my all-time favorite.
That's my movie.
That movie made me cry.
It gets me every single time.
Yes, right? Even though you know what's
even
gonna happen,
if I fast forward to that part, it still gets me.
He must be wearing some really nice pants.
That is what they say in there. Mom, why is that your favorite movie?
Just to see his struggle and his pain, trying to hold on to his son, and he was so intelligent, and to see him succeed at the end, and still hang on to his son through that whole process.
So it's random fact. His son. So in the movie, obviously, Will Smith and Jaden Smith, and Jaden in the movie is like 7. But in real life, Chris Gardner's son was 19 months old.
Wow.
That's what he told me. 19 months old throughout that capture, that time frame that they took. In the movie, he was 19 months. So sleeping in that subway bathroom.
Yeah.
19-month-old.
I think what they capture so beautifully in that movie is, the way parents, and I mean, anybody can see and kind of relate to, is trying to protect your child from the environment, right? Trying to preserve your child's innocence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I think that's a great end to this. Parenthood, fatherhood. I'm gonna check out that Kevin Hart movie, Fatherhood, on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Right.
Can't wait.
Guys, mom, dad, I've expressed it enough. Well, there's never too many times. I love you guys to death. Thank you.
We love you too. We love you both. And happy Father's Day to two of the best.
Yep.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, RJ.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the parents out there.
Yes.
Lastly,
Guardians.
you guys, yes, happy Father's Day. Just like RJ stated. Sorry for cutting you off there, RJ.
That's all right.
Guys, please check my book out, Nowhere to Run. Please type in Nowhere to Run, Monte Ball on Amazon. Check it out. And let me know what you think. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. But I share it all. Share it all. Thank you guys.
Right.
Again, mom and dad, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Try to be better tomorrow than we were today. Because at least if we can make it, we tried.
That's right.
See ya.
Bye.